All right, let's talk about something that feels like it's straight out of a sci fi movie, but is actually happening right now in your doctor's office. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. And no, this isn't some far off future thing. It's here and it's becoming a really big deal in medicine. So let's dive in. Okay, so let's just get to the big question everyone's asking, right? Will my next doctor be a robot? Is some machine going to be calling the shots on my health? Well, the real answer is a lot more complicated and honestly way more interesting than just a yes or no. Let's actually unpack what this AI thing really means for all of us and our doctors. First things first, why even bother with AI in medicine? What's the problem we're trying to solve here? Well, the short answer is that modern healthcare is under a ton of pressure. Doctors, nurses, everyone on the front lines, they're facing some huge challenges and are looking for a helping hand. I mean, just think about it for a second. Your doctor is probably drowning in paperwork and endless electronic records. At the same time, there's this constant push to diagnose things faster and more accurately. And you're generating a mountain of data every time you see a doctor. And the holy grail, right? Personalized medicine that's tailored just for you, that's almost impossible to do for everyone. So you see this gap, this need? That's exactly where AI is starting to make a difference. All right, so medical AI. What in the world are we even talking about? We hear all these buzzwords thrown around, AI, machine learning, deep learning. But what does that stuff actually mean when it comes to your health? Let's break it down. Okay, let's start with the big one, artificial intelligence, or AI. The easiest way to think about this is just as the big umbrella term. It covers the whole idea of making machines that can do things that normally require a human brain. Now, under that big AI umbrella, you've got machine learning. And this is where it gets super cool. Instead of a programmer writing a million lines of code telling the computer exactly what a tumor looks like, you just show it thousands or even millions of medical images. You show it healthy ones, you show it ones with problems, and the machine, it just learns to see the patterns by itself. It's basically learning from experience, just like we do. And then there's the really advanced stuff, deep learning. This is a special type of machine learning that uses something called neural networks. And that's not just a fancy name. They're actually modeled after the way our own brains work. This is what gives AI the superpower to analyze super complex things, like medical images, and spot a tiny little speck on an MRI that even a trained human eye might miss. Okay, this is a really, really important point. The AI you might mess around with, like a chatbot, that's a generalist. It's been trained on like the entire internet. It knows a little bit about everything. Medical AI is the complete opposite. It's a super specialist. Think of it like this. You wouldn't ask your family doctor to perform brain surgery, right? This AI hasn't been trained to write you a poem. It's been trained on millions of very specific, high-quality medical images to do one job, like spot abnormalities in an X-ray. And it has to be incredibly accurate and validated to even be considered. So this isn't just lab talk or something that's coming in 10 years. This stuff is already in hospitals and clinics right now. So let's look at where AI is showing up on the front lines. And it's really starting to pop up everywhere. In radiology, it's like having a tireless assistant that can double-check every scan, looking for things a human might miss after a 12-hour shift. For pathologists, it can slash the time it takes to analyze tissue samples from days down to just hours. It's even being used to create tools that help doctors make tough diagnostic calls, and virtual assistants that help you manage your own health. Let's zoom in a bit, though. To really get a feel for this, let's just pick one area where AI is already a huge deal. Radiology. So imagine this. You go in for an X-ray. The image is taken, and almost instantly, an AI algorithm gets to work. It scans that image, comparing it to a massive library of millions of other scans it's already learned from. It then highlights any little spots or areas that look suspicious. But, and this is the key point, the AI doesn't say you have cancer. No way. It's more like a co-pilot. It flags things for the human expert, the radiologist, who then looks at everything, considers the AI's input, and makes the final official diagnosis. And that right there, that brings us to what I think is the most important piece of this whole puzzle. This isn't about machines replacing doctors, not at all. It's about a new kind of partnership, doctor plus machine. So you can imagine what doctors are thinking, right? Is this new tool here to help me do my job better, or is it here to take my job? It's a huge question, but the answer is getting clearer and clearer. And that answer is pretty clear. AI is a tool. It's there to enhance a doctor's decision-making, not to replace them. The point isn't to build a robot doctor. The point is to build the world's best assistant, so the human doctor can focus on the thing that really matters. You, the patient. And it's all about playing to your strengths. The AI is a beast when it comes to processing data. It's fast, it's tireless, it can spot patterns we can't. But what does the doctor bring? Everything else. The wisdom, the empathy, the ability to understand your unique situation, the ethical judgment. You could say it like this: the AI handles the data, but the doctor handles the care. Okay, so what does all this mean for us, for the future of healthcare? What does this new partnership mean when we're the ones in the patient's chair? So let's just recap the big ideas. Number one, AI is an assistant, period. It's not the replacement. Your doctor is still and will always be the one in charge of your care. But by using these tools, we can make the whole system more efficient, more accurate, and maybe even more focused on the patient. And this isn't some distant dream, it's happening as we speak. You know, maybe we've been using the wrong term all along. Maybe the goal here isn't artificial intelligence, it's augmented intelligence. It's not about making a fake human brain. It's about making our own human brains even better, helping us see more, know more, and care more. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that we have this incredibly powerful new tool, what should we point it at? If you could use AI to solve just one problem in all of medicine, what would you choose? Curing a rare disease? Predicting the next pandemic? The list of possibilities is huge, and we're really just at the very beginning.